Ladies and gentlemen, before we go forward, and I have the honor of presenting Radeyah the award tonight, but before we do that, allow me one minor indiscretion. I'm going to invite AIDS President Marceline White on stage for something that we're not going to disclose until Marceline comes up.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. It's my pleasure to be here with you tonight, and it's a real honor to be here. And I'm here right now because we realized, as we're preparing this award ceremony, that one important name was left off the list when you talk about social entrepreneurs and social innovators and heroes, and that name is Seth Green. And so we wanted to take a moment. As many of you know, Seth was the founder of AID, and this is one of his first times out in public as the former president of the organization. And so we want to take a minute to really recognize his leadership and his vision throughout his time with AID. He's on the board. He's still going to remain with AID, but is also working as a social entrepreneur now, working to develop those skills to bring them back to the field of international development. Many of the people in the room know Seth and can speak quite to all of his skills and energy. I just want to take a minute and reflect on a couple things from the time that I've known him. And that is simply to say that one of the things that I've realized is that Seth represents the real ideal of a social entrepreneur. He's shown innovation in bringing people together in a constructive dialogue at a time when there is divisiveness and divisiveness on many issues. He's shown strong characteristics of being an entrepreneur by being able to generate revenue at a small nonprofit from the get-go. And he has shown an incredible amount of energy, dedication, and passion to giving young people, both in this room and throughout the country, because AID is on more than 1,000 campuses now, the tools that they need to create constructive dialogue, to solve global issues, and to raise awareness about a youthful vision for resolving these pressing global issues. This is not the Seth Green roast, so I will not go into many of the stories I've heard from colleagues. I will simply mention that his mother did tell me that I think this is a role he was born to. She said that as a young man, rather than having sports heroes or movie stars in his bedroom, he had pictures of Congress people and senators. So I think clearly he has found his role and his niche. We are not letting him go too far from AID because he's going to continue to play an important role in the organization, but we want to recognize his contribution. And for that reason, we want to announce tonight the establishment of the Seth Green Fellow, which will be an annual fellowship for someone who will work on social entrepreneurship within AID and will organize an annual Seth Green Conference on social entrepreneurship. So we have a little award for him. I'm going to invite him up for a brief few words.
I really did not know this when I was planning this event. I feel very odd. But I appreciate this. It's very kind. I think that it is silly to have a good fellow. It is someone who would come into the fellowship, I think, very much underestimating what it is they'd be doing. But on a serious note, I'm very honored and thankful, and just want to say thank you to all of you, and get back to the innovators who are incredible. Thank you very much. And lastly, let me just say how pleased I am when I'm in this transition to be passing the torch to Marceline. As you will hear at the end, she is a dynamic and spirited and wonderful leader who we could not ask more for. The organization has grown from a movement, which I was very proud to lead, to an institution. And I realized that I really loved the movement and the strategy, and that we needed a leader who wanted to bring it to an organization and think through all of those skills, and we could not find a better one. And you'll hear about that later. Thank you.
Congratulations again, Seth, and thank you, Marceline. Moving on. So we're gathered here tonight, not in holy matrimony, but to celebrate the achievements of innovators in social responsibility, including Radeyah, one of AID's most talented and successful youth leaders. Radeyah represents a new and emerging crop of vibrant, progressive Muslim leaders who are not only giving back to their communities of origin, but taking them and other communities to new places on new journeys. Radeyah's work in the past year alone can be the source of envy for nonprofit organizations, interfaith leaders, and youth who work to realize the dream of a better future for all of humanity. Her faith plays a tremendous role in all facets of her life, and tonight we pay tribute to her accomplishments and aspirations. Radeyah's triumphs are too many to mention in a short speech, so I will instead defer to the nature of the conversations she and I have been having the past few months. They usually entail Radeyah complaining about how difficult it is to make a decision when one has so many options. I agree that such situations are difficult to deal with, but what amuses me is the amount and variety of offers she receives. Be they volunteer, internship, or job-related, Radeyah gets them all and turns 95% of them down. What many of you don't know, though, is the suffering I go through when I help her choose those 5% of opportunities she should go for. So it is despite these tremendous burdens my dear friend Radeyah places on my shoulders that I have the distinct and unique privilege of presenting, on behalf of her family at Americans for Informed Democracy, the Award for Young Innovator in Coexistence. Radeyah.
Thank you all tonight. It's really quite an honor to be here among all of you. And I just wanted to say, it feels really odd for me to accept this award because I've never considered my interfaith and coexistence work to be innovative in any way. For me, it's necessary because I really do feel like people of different faiths need to acknowledge their shared values and their common humanity. It's really evident lately that religion and politics are just so often used to divide us, but I really do feel that it's a time where people like us who believe in pluralism and tolerance can counter it and work together to make this a better world for all. This may be optimistic to say, but I do know that together Muslims, Jews, Christians, Hindus, atheists, and so many of us can work to solve the world's problems, like to stem the HIV pandemic, beat back the rising infections of malaria, and help alleviate the desperation that so many in extreme poverty experience. I wanted to thank Seth Green and Aid Democracy for providing a platform where college students can turn their discontent with the state of the world into positive change for action. Positive action for change. As a young Muslim, for me, I was really concerned about what was going on around me, and Aid Democracy gave me that, it empowered me and helped me to speak out and to not. And really what Aid Democracy did for me, and not to be cliche, was that it helped me to be the change that I wanted to see in the world. And I just wanted to say thank you so much to Seth and Aid Democracy, and I really congratulate all the other award winners.